Okay, and I'll share my screen just to get us started. Okay, this is odd. So, good morning. Welcome to this session for monitoring and evaluation liaisons. So, yeah, we should have all seen the agenda, which we'll get back to. We start with welcome introductions, then we go through a few things, then we have a discussion session, and then some questions. Okay, so I'd like us to just at least one person from each team that's here to introduce, just send a greeting out. And I know we do not have anybody from Papua New Guinea, and I don't think anybody has joined from Solomon Islands. Okay, so I guess we're going to start with BOU. Leave.
It's just after 7 from Botswana, and I send my greetings, Bavo and colleagues. Good evening from Botswana. My name is Mabaledi Selezo from the SADC Center for Distance Education, and I work with Botswana Open University. My colleagues, the M E Liaison, and 2 other colleagues will be joining us in a bit. Ms. Nkolo and Dr. Deraditzile, they'll be joining in a bit. Probably they're just running late. Thank you, colleagues.
Okay, thank you. And I don't think anybody has joined from Commerce. Has anyone joined? Namibia? No. Okay, moving on from somebody from Plavio. Hello, Jacob, are you there?
Yeah, great from Plavu, Uganda. I am happy to be here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying my name is Alok Jacob from Plavu, Uganda, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Yapo.
Yeah, good morning and good evening to my colleagues. This is Salim, and I'm speaking on behalf of my colleague Ashraf. So thank you for being able to join this evening and this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And lastly would be REAP. Is anyone from REAP here? I heard the sound of somebody joining.
Good evening, good morning. My name is Wendy from Kenya, REAP.
Okay, morning, Wendy.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay, so I think we'll get started. So the slides have been sent. This is our agenda for today's meeting. Okay, I'd like to begin with just a brief overview of what the purpose of our current M&E tools are. So we have like the 3 tools we're going to be talking about are these ones: the registration record, attendance record, and then the partner quarterly report. And all of these have been done mostly on Lime Survey with, maybe an Excel sheet. So the registration record should be the first thing that is done, and it should be happen before the event, and it's to gather detailed information about the participants. This is especially important for trainings that are going to be long-term. And it's at this time that the learners should get assigned a unique learner ID that they should know and we should know, so that we can track them, that's purpose, throughout the program. When we know, oh, they came for this event, the ID is the same. Even if we misspell the name or they decide to switch the positions of their first and last name or anything else happens, we know it's the same person. So before the event date, we should have collected most of this information. If somebody walks in, we don't want to start a thing of saying, no, go away, we are not going to have you because you didn't register, but we can register them at that point. And we've seen the registration form is quite detailed. The attendance record should be used on the day of the event, and it helps us track just who attended. And call is a bit big, especially with projects like Girls Inspire, to know, are we actually hitting our target demographic? Are we going to those young women and girls? So it's important that we know the gender and the age of the people so we can say, okay, yes, these are the people we are meeting, and they're most of the people who attended these events. And it helps us also link the attendance to the registration. That's why you should have that learner ID there, and you can go there. And if, it's an event that you know most of the registered people are going to attend, you can put them there, move all the information, and then take out those who didn't. So it's meant to be a good tool to track learners throughout the program. So you can just see, oh, attended this day, did not come here, and all of that. The partner quarterly report is hefty, and it's meant to summarize all the events or trainings for the whole quarter. Because of how it is, it can be a bit tricky some parts, but we want to try and capture as much as possible to fit all possible events into that so that we can say, oh no, here is this one list, it has everything. And if we filled it out, we see it's kind of really focused on statistical data. It's just how many. Yeah. So, there have been a few changes to the current M&E tools that we just talked about, and it's they are not major changes, but because of how Lime Survey is, we've needed to create different Lime Survey surveys. So the first change is in the order of the question. So we always get, which organization are you 14 from? That's generally the first question. I know in the different things it's been in different places. And we reduced the list of data collectors and communities that you would see. So we're going to just have a look. Let's start with the registration record. And okay, can you see the screen that now says Girls Inspire registration record 2?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we can see.
Thank you. So it's pretty much the same kind of information. The changes are small, like the content hasn't changed. So the change is when you now select your organization, like say commerce, you get a list of only people who have anything to do with commerce. And then the communities are only the commerce communities. Because I noticed our list was getting quite long with every single community being listed. So there's very little change, and it's similar changes that have happened to the attendance record. This part has not changed. But now when you select your organization, you can now see just the relevant names to you, relevant communities to you. But the rest of the information hasn't changed. Okay, we can have a quick look at the partner quarterly report, which again, the major information remains the same. But here we can choose our organization, and then we can find out just the relevant names. Okay, so the other pages we need to fill out. Okay, So we want to move to these new versions with the slight change, and this should be hopefully easier to update, so we don't need to create a new one. Once this meeting is done with the recording and the feedback form, I would send out a poll just to find out when would be a good time for us to start using it. We can start now, and therefore we'll be deactivating the old ones. And so when you go to the link, it won't work, but we'll send out all the new ones. So it might just be a bit of an adjustment. Or we could start at Cole's fiscal year. That'll be next to July. That's when we end in June, start in July. We could choose that as a good starting point. Or we could start whenever there's a new contribution agreement. That would now have the new one. So the poll will just ask this, please respond, and then whichever has the majority will start then. So that's a small change for the current tools. A few new tools have been developed. And the purpose is to guide, showing what information is needed. And this is especially true for the event report template. And we're thinking about the attendance record. We're not feeling we're getting as much information as we could, and it's being used appropriately. So these are to serve as a guide, and we're going to send out Word documents. Well, put them in your OneDrive folders so that you can easily go, okay, so this is it. I can modify it. I can change it to suit our needs, but we know what kind of information Cole needs. So for the single event attendance, so it's now a paper-based alternative as opposed to using Lime survey. It has the same kind of information. So it has the same kind of information, the organization name, the title, description of the event, and like the purpose, the activity output number, the start date, the land, the communities, but it's paper. So you could type this first information out, print it out, and pass it around so that you don't have to collect the information and then go back and now start trying to punch it into Excel. This can now be scanned and sent and put in the OneDrive folder so we can see it. We're trying to reduce the double work. So it's pretty much the same, and attached to it, we'll send is just a bit more detailed instructions. And it might be necessary to go through the first few times, and then after that, we should be fine just using it. And again, it's a choice. So with this, this is for single day events. Like if you go out sensitizing, you talk to parents, they might not be registered with you because you just went and tried to find who the community is. So here we don't have learner ID because they might not have a learner ID. It's fine. So you just put down names, age, their sex. If they have a disability, you put what the disability is. And if they don't, just put nil or none. And then completed the event. This might be tricky, but we want to try and capture who actually stayed till the end. There are people who just drop in, sign their name, walk out 10 minutes later. So if we can possibly track that, we want to be able to say, okay, yes, these people stayed till the end, while these other people registered and left. Here in this box at the end, we have totals, and this can be filled out for both. You can, if you use multiple sheets, you can fill out for one, but it'd be good to now label the multiple sheets. So this is sheet 1 of 10, sheet 2 of 10, or whatever it is. So here has just the total people who attended the event. Then you get split them to girls, boys, women, men, persons with disabilities. So it's just to count it after all the names are filled out and put it in. So generally we consider girls and boys people under the legal age of 18, and then there'll be men and women if they are over that age. That is pretty much it. So this and all similar, if you use 10 of them, can just be scanned together and put as your attendance record in OneDrive. Let's come back here for this link. There is now this version, which is now for multi-day training events, multi-session events. The first part of the information that's pretty much similar. And here we have learner ID, which is really where it becomes important. And this person is coming for training for 3 months. They need to know what their ID is. And this is the kind of person we want to track. We want to know what their progress is. So the name, the age, the accessibility, these are all the same. And the idea here with the sessions and dates is that you put down the date here and then you simply just check if the person is present or not, like you would in a regular school. So it'll be ticking or signing against it just so that they fill it up and you know who's there. And if the training is routine, therefore this information, the ID, the name should not change, and it's just whether the person is present or not. So that's pretty much it. Again, this will be an alternative to the Lime survey. So when you have like a 4-week session, you could have just one single sheet. And at the end, after everybody has come, you put down just the numbers of the people, same as the other one. And this will come with a bit of instructions here, just to help you get into it. The final tool that is new is the event report template. So this is going to be for individual events or trainings. So if you're training in, say, I don't know, soap making and it lasts 4 weeks, there'll be one report for the 4 weeks of the training. So it has information that is designed to nicely feed into the quarterly report. So this first page is where the detailed information is. And when you have that, the quarterly report should hopefully be easier to put in. You put in now things like the organization name, the quarter, the title, things like the output number. You're going straight to your RBF and you are just collecting that information and putting it there. Something to note is the number registered at baseline. It gives us a good idea when you now put the attendance. It's like, okay, 200 people said they were going to come. How many actually showed up? So it creates that comparison. And then you put down who's filling out this report and then the role in the project. So this information should be simple, and we've received reports where we can't pull out this information from. It would also work to help if anything is missing or unclear with a Lime Survey quarterly report. We can see it here, hopefully. Then the next part, which should be about a page, is where you put down the details of the event. This is now like the narrative part. Put the context. What was happening? Where are you? What was the goal? Put in details. Golden objective. What was done? You can now, this can be now on day 1, they trained in this, and we went here, did that. Talk about who facilitated it. I think that is information that's usually lacking. Was it done in-house? Did you get somebody else? So I know there are times where you need to get an entire different person to run a training, and it's good to know that information, who the person is, what's their expertise. You can talk about who attended. the numbers as well as just the like the type of audience. So you want to say, oh, it was attended by elders from this community, or it's attended by primary school children from wherever, such information. You could also talk about the outcomes and any unexpected things. I think this is a good place to put them. And it might be good at unexpected things. Only 40 registered, but on the day 200 people showed up. This is a way to explain it, say how it was dealt with, or there was something that cut short your event, or whatever it is that happens. It just gives flesh so we can paint a good picture. Now, the challenges, lessons learned, suggestions. This is now more forward thinking, that you finish the event, it's a bit more reflective. This was difficult. We'll try this next time. We think this would have been better. That kind of forward thinking, so that in the next event of a similar kind, you can take these and improve on it. Especially if something does go wrong, this would be quite useful. And the last section is for the evidence, which you can put down a copy of the attendance record, or even better, a link. You can put it down, any materials used or developed, pictures or videos, preferably in links. So these should already be in OneDrive. Put it there, and then we have one simple report that contains everything. Okay, so again, this is a guide, especially this, so feel free to modify it, but it kind of tells you the kind of information we're looking for. The first page I'll say is the most important, with just, it's the numbers, oh, how many, oh, where was it, and such things. Then you can put in the details as you need. Okay. So those will be put into the OneDrive so that you can now have the option of using them. And I'll put both the PDF with instructions and then just a simple Word version so that you can easily modify it, print it, and use if, yeah, easy as you want. Okay, so let's change gears a little bit and talk about means of verification. So here we have 3 kinds of pictures, and the first are the kind we would prefer to see. The first one shows, like, you can clearly see backs of heads, the person who's facilitating it, if possibly the Girls Inspire banner, if it's like a natural thing. We don't want it to be an awkward, this person is just holding it up for a picture. But we expect the Girls Inspire banner to be somewhere there already. It would be good to picture it so we know it's a Girls Inspire event. This was the speaker. If we can even see what's being projected or written, something clear, they'll say, okay, yeah, that's a good picture. One picture captures all that information. We do not need to see as much as like people's faces. If they're just sitting and looking, it does not tell us much. The second picture is people practicing whatever skill they have. It's fine to have the instructor, but it's even more important to see if it's the learners, participant doing whatever it is. So here we won't expect to see a banner, it'd be very out of place, but yes, it will be a good picture. And here you don't need to ask, oh gosh, I wonder what's happening. We want to avoid pictures like the last one where it's just people standing, because it provides no information. It could be for any training anywhere in the world. It's just people standing. So you now need to say, oh, it was after this event, or it was after that event. And it's good. I know these kinds of pictures are popular because it allows you to capture everybody who attended an event, but it doesn't tell much information. It's just that there was something and these are the people. And sometimes it's not everybody, so it's not like you can even count and get a good picture. So if we can avoid these, I'm not saying don't take them, but you should have other pictures as evidence, not just people standing. Other suggestions for means of verification include a short video, either capturing something key the presenter is saying, or we can also capture the people attending, just like a general, kind of like the first picture, but in video form. Look at all these people attending this workshop. Here is the speaker a little bit, here's the banner, all of that. And it could also just have, you could also have certain participants speaking up about the event. That's also a means of verification. Oh, I attended this event, it was good, whatever else. Yeah, so, and I think especially for longer trainings, you'd have more opportunity to just speak to a few people and have them share about their experiences. So another thing as a means of verification would be the tools that were used. If somebody gave a speech, had a certain training tool, slides were created or modified and they updated them, we can also put those as means of verification. We want the means of verification to create as good a picture plus the report of the event as possible. We are not there, but we want to be able to say, yes, we got a good picture of what happened, where it happened, who was there, and all of these. So we want the means of verification to be quite rich. So that's it. So now I think it's time for me to stop talking. We've seen the tools that we have and we've been doing this. I think everybody has at least maybe not completely gone through all like the reporting period at the end of a quarter at least once to see how the tools are. So can we please share any thoughts or ideas or concerns that we want to improve just the monitoring and evaluation processes? And we want to be considering especially how to track participants who attend multiple events and trainings, because we're not sure that the learner ID is serving that purpose. Just to know, oh, this person is returning. They've attended for 2 years. They've been coming for something. It's good to know such people. So any suggestions, ideas, thoughts?
Hi, Babosha. My name is
Hello.
Wendy.
Yes, Wendy.
I wanted to maybe give a suggestion of how it has worked for us to get the same participants coming back for the next trainings. What we've actually been doing is at the end of every training, we would ask them to give us a date for the next meeting. And when they agree, it makes it easier for them to show up for the next meeting. So for us, the ID has worked.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, maybe before Bavosha, before somebody else comments, I'd just like to comment on what Wendy has said. And I think that's an excellent idea because it also gives the participants a sense of ownership of the whole process. So it's not like we're being told the next meeting will be on the 12th of January, but that we have come together and we have agreed that it will be the 12th of January. And that means that you get the same people showing up, even if somebody brings along a friend who may have not attended before, but at least you know that the core people who agreed to turn up will be coming to the meeting. That's a great idea. Is there anyone else wanting to share about their thoughts on the evaluation? Even if you've had difficulties, let us know what they are so that we can talk about them, or the tools that Bavosha has just shared?
Hi, Karen.
Yes, Wendy,
Can I just ask a question?
of course.
Okay, so previously, when we were doing events, like after every event or training, I would come up with a report and maybe attach a photo to just as evidence, or rather as a means of verification. So now I have a question. Is the event report template going to replace that, or do we have to do the short report and again fill the event report template?
Bavosha?
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's asking about the updated versus the old tool, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
So this should be a replacement. We don't expect you to do 2 reports for the same event. And you can take aspects of your report that you're currently using, the short report, and merge it with the event report. We're just saying these are the kinds of information Cole is looking for that we collect. So it's a tool for you to modify and use as it fits you. It's not double work. It's more of a replacement.
Yeah, thank you, Bavosha. I think I also want to add to on what Bavosha has said. You see, because when we don't have a template, sometimes we will have a wonderful report, but we are looking at this report, which is a written out report, and it says 25 people attended, and these are the things that took place. When we try to match that with what has been submitted as the evidence is sometimes different. But now with the new report template, you're already feeding in the numbers and you have the attendance sheet. Then you're writing a brief report that has specific guidelines that help you to write out your report, so that when we compare these two documents, then they are exactly the same, so that later on we are not having to ask you, where is you said 25 people attended, we only have names of 10. We're not having to ask you that months after the event has passed. So it will make work much easier and much briefer, so that your reports are a little bit more focused, and once you upload it, you don't then have to come back to it again. Thank you.
Can I say something also?
Go ahead, Jacob.
Thank you so much, Karen and Bagosia. To me, I will not even wait for the poll again, because I like the new version. the new version is very, very simple, and it is very much illustrative, because in the other old version, you cannot even mention challenges, okay? Like, and way forward, because some of these, when you go to the field, there are some of the information that the participant could give you, and the information could be directly to to call. But there is no way you can explain these challenges and the recommendations. But this one gives you the chance at least to mention everything in details. So to me, I will not wait for the poll. I don't know if that is okay. Thank you.
Bavosha, would you like to respond to that? Will it be possible to use it immediately?
Yes, I think sometime this week I can have it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Bavo, it's Mava here. I also want to concur with colleagues that I really love the new template, because it's so easy to use. For us, we are just fairly new in this project. We have just started, and as you may know, we are still struggling with a lot of things. But one of the things that we have really struggled with ourselves is it's when we are at the field and we have to do the baseline. The Lime survey has not been easy to use, and I think this form, as it is, it takes care of a lot of issues that are actually raised in the Lime survey. So it will be very easy to use, and later on, maybe even speak to other things that may be required, by yourselves that side. So it's a one-stop shop, if I may, because it's so comprehensive. But otherwise, we are really learning, colleagues. This has been a very interesting and challenging time for us. I'm happy that M&E it's here, and she will also maybe wish to share with ourselves some of the challenges. Mrs. Nkolo, I think she's in attendance, Karen, and we are doing well. We are getting there, and like we said, we are busy compiling that which you required us to compile. At least we now have everything handy, and we should be able to do the needful this week. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you for sharing. This session has not yet talked about the core baseline collecting tools and just the registration. So we can have a look at them and see how to simplify and better them. But we're a bit limited with Lime Survey does well to collect information for us, but we're also thinking about, is it now a good tool for you to use, which is something considering. And Lime Survey is the only option available to call at this time. So it might not be the best, but if we need survey-like data, we might still be forced to use it, but we will try and find ways to improve on the baseline surveys.
Yeah, that's in order. But like I'm saying, this new template is so rich with information that some of that can easily be, input. It has a lot of, it can contribute quite a great deal to the Lime survey, unlike what we've been doing now. It's quite
Okay.
comprehensive and very easy to use.
Thank you.
I thought Salim had unmuted, or anyone else who would like to still say something? Yes, Salim.
Yeah, I was listening to my colleagues, Karen.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I am the victim of the previous version, and it has made us struggle a lot when it comes at a time when we want to report. I truly like the idea of separating those paper-based attendance, that whenever we have a single event, we can have a single event kind of attendance, which is quite different from those with multiple sessions of training. This has been very difficult for us once we report on the multiple events. For example, a training which takes about 6 weeks. It's not easy for us to capture all of the information of for those participants. So
sorry, Salim, you started fading away and it's getting a bit difficult to hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Now, can you hear me correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I was saying the new template, especially the paper-based reporting template, is a cutting-edge kind of reporting style, and it will simplify what we have been struggling previously, and I hope it will address all of the challenges of misfit of data. Sometimes what we have said in our reports can go different from what has been uploaded in the Lime survey. So I think, and I vote for yes for this new template. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I kindly come through?
Yes, Nicole.
Okay. Good evening, good morning. Yeah, bear with me. I'm down with flu. We have been having a challenge. As you are discussing, I'm trying to reflect on what we've been doing or what we have done. And I'm just recording that it's like on the Lime survey, where there is the name, like where you are to put attendees, we were grouping and then attaching we have modified the tool kind like to make a profile of our beneficiaries. And we were attaching that document thinking it's taking care of the need of that. So What I want to understand is, do we need to transfer the individual names into the Lime survey?
Yes, that is how it was done, which is what the paper-based one would eliminate. Because realize you're probably not going out into the field and expecting people to type it into Lime survey, but that's what they should replace. So you can take that paper-based one, have people fill it up, and then submit it. Because before, and I'm sure everybody's keeping attendance, you now need to sit down and start retyping in names. So it's to reduce that. But yes, before this, you were expected to now go back and type it in to the Lime survey, the names, the attendance.
And since we have not yet started with this new one, we are going to have to retype the names into the Lime survey.
I need to understand something, and Call and Maba. You're talking about baseline where you're doing registration of participants into Girls Inspire, or are you talking about attendance in terms of, for example, you had a training and somebody attended that training?
I think here, Mankolo, we're taking baseline, isn't it?
Yes, because if we are speaking about the baseline, for call to we like if your contribution agreement is saying we are going to reach 100 women and girls, then those 100 women and girls are entered into the registration at baseline, so that then from that point on you will be saying that we have registered 100 women and girls. When we are having human rights training, because it is for all of these women and girls, then even if they don't attend at the same time, it means that an attendance at a single event, you will have maybe 50 girls. At another event, you will have another 50. But this 50 plus 50 is the 100 you registered at baseline.
Okay, so they have to be there,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, they are the same. If there are
Yeah.
any, excuse me, if there are any extra women or girls that show up, you can add them to the attendance record for that event. So maybe you had 52 people showing up. The two are not necessarily in our registration record, but it's a single event, so you don't have to upload them. But then consider these 100 girls that you first put in the baseline. You're like, for BOU, you want to offer them online courses on agriculture, and some are doing online courses on ICT. Maybe the ones who are doing agriculture are 30. You want to take that same, the registration record that you had initially, and is being offered to these 30. Then we are saying that maybe another 40 are going to show up for the ICT. 20 of them did not show up. You see, the baseline helps you to then track who came, who did we register at first, who have we trained, and what have they been trained in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it is like again about continuity and those that are returning, you know, the same cohort coming for different trainings.
Yes, very true.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say something about the learner ID and why it is so important. When you register somebody at baseline, for example, you have registered, let's say you've registered Salim and given him an ID 001. Then you've registered Wendy 002. Maba is 003. Now, when then it comes to the next training that you are offering, if Salim knows that he's 001, remember the multiple attendance sheet that Bavosha has just showed us. If Salim knows that he's 001, Salim gives you that ID 001, you write it in plus his name and his details. When he comes for the next session, if it's maybe going to be 5 sessions, when he comes for the next session, he simply tells you 001 and ticks, or he either he's doing the ticking or you're doing the ticking for him. That way you know that we started with Salim, we taught him human rights, we have gone on, we have trained him in tailoring, we are going on, we are going now to train him in digital literacy. At the end of the day, as an organization, you have this data of people that you have trained, and you can be able to say, okay, we have had these women and girls or this particular person for a whole year. What impact or what difference have we made in their lives. If we are not making a difference in their lives, is it because we are not training them in the right things, or is it because maybe that we are not training them enough? As an organization, you're then able to make decisions so that when you come for your next contribution agreement, you say, in the last year, we trained in tailoring. This year, we are not going to do tailoring anymore because these are the difficulties that the participants have shown. So the data is important for us as call, but it is extremely important for you as an organization to know what you're doing with these people and then to be able to make those decisions. So sorry, I talked a lot, but I just wanted to emphasize on the learner ID. Bavosha, back
But
to
you
you.
did well. You did well because it's clarifying some issues that we think we missed or we need to work on.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
That's
Thank you,
very
Karen.
true, especially that, like we said, colleagues, you would recall that we are still in our first 3 months, and I'm just noting these gaps. And Manke, I was even thinking that maybe because in our team we have the graphic designers, and maybe we can even have learner ID cards that we can issue out as we go on and register participants, because then it would even be easier, and we encourage them to bring their ID cards when each time they come.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, good ideas
Okay.
coming up.
Yeah. ID cards could work.
Yeah.
And therefore, they also have a physical thing, and it's not just remember your number, which they might
Yes,
struggle
yes.
to do.
And actually, they will even have this sense of belonging, like we said earlier on. If we keep on telling them, bring your cards with you, bring your learner ID cards, they will feel like, and they, here they will feel very important carrying around those cards. They think cards are a symbol of some prestigious event or something. So I think this is one strategy, again, that will always encourage them to come back for some other trainings.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. And I believe that an ID card can be as simple as a small sheet of paper, like what we use during when you come for a meeting or a workshop. Sometimes they'll give you a small piece of paper with just your name on it. So that will help somebody if they have their name and their ID on it, and they can it is something that fits easily into a small purse or into a pocket, and they can always have it. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Just a small coupon, yeah.
Yes, true.
Any more? Anybody else wants to share?
Shia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I have a question about those paper-based reports. I mean the reports, yes. Unfortunately, I can't access this. Let me try this. Okay. The multiple sessions training attendance. If you go to the second page, wait a second, it's not opening.
Bavosha, maybe you can take us to that.
Yeah, it's already. It is not responding to my computer. I don't know why.
It might be how it's currently shared. I'm not sure. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me use your
Second
screen.
page.
Yes. Is this the one?
Yes, the multiple session attendance. What are you talking about these instructions? Which page?
No. There was the one with some details like what are the lesson learned, what are the
that should be over here.
Yes.
The
that
event
one.
report template.
So yes, this is the one I was asking. So all those details, do we type, we write? Are they handwritten or typed? Should be handwritten or typed?
Sorry, Sam, I didn't catch that.
He's asking whether they're going to be typed or handwritten.
I would say typing would be preferred, but if you can't type, because typing means you can just submit a digital file, but if not, you can print it out, write, and then scan it back to us. So it's open.
Maybe, Bavosha, maybe I'd like to say something. Remember, people, that this form, you can just open it in Word document.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't need to print it out. Just open the template as a Word document, and then you can type in what you need to do, and then you just simply upload it to your OneDrive. So you don't have to print it out, then write, then type, or bring it back. You just open it as a Word document, and then you upload it once you're done. Do you even need to upload it, Bavosha, or you just simply close it and it will upload it?
It depends on how you choose to create it. The template will be in your OneDrive already. If you choose to copy it and keep it same in the OneDrive, it will already be there. But if you choose to download it, which for internet issues might be a good idea, that you can fill it out and complete it and then re-upload. But if the internet is not a problem, you can just leave it online, create a copy online, fill it up, and it would already be on OneDrive.
Now, I have a question here.
Please.
So I think, believe even if we say we are not going to write this, or maybe we are not going to print it, it is going to be necessary, because like a case in point, when a project officer is in the field training, okay, after he or she trains, I think he would be much interested in filling this, because the details of the event would be much, like that. Now, for the person who is going to give a general report, I think he or she has to follow this from what has been the information got from the field. Now, because if you go to the field and the trainings were done, and some of the information or the challenges were given by the participants, I think they would need this document to enter these informations directly, or they would still need to write it somewhere, and then they give the report to the person who is going to compile. Is it like that? Can it work?
Again, it's not prescriptive. You can make it flexible to work in your situation. If you're taking some part of it into the field, I know when you're going out, writing is better. But if it's more of an office thing, then typing should not be a problem. So, you can, and Word is quite flexible. If you scan one page and attach and have like, oh, this page is written, but the rest is typed, Word can also work with that. It's just to get clear, legible writing should be fine. But I'll say most of the information, especially on the first page, can easily be typed in and used as it needs to be. And you might even take a copy, make notes in the field, and then come back and now type it more into a narrative piece.
Thank you.
Okay, one more issue for clarity.
Thanks.
I didn't get it well. I don't know if you covered it. There is an instance, like, for example, our very first event at one of the villages. During our first meeting, there was another event that was taking place. So it means quite a number of people that we expected did not turn up, instead went for that event because there was the hiring of one program that is running here, and people went there to queue to be hired. So it affected the number of people that we expected. So we managed to get, let's say we filled the baseline for people who were there. So now when we do the second training, if more people turn up, what's going to happen? We are still going to add to the number that we have already registered as our baseline, or how do we treat them?
I'd just like to maybe ask Mankolo, this training was on which topic? Nkolo?
Sorry,
But it was
I'm okay.
on the topics of human rights and GBV.
So it was for girls, women and girls specifically.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so what you're saying
Sexual
is that you had
reproductive health
less.
and rights.
So if you had less people, it means that when you have the next training, what I would imagine is that when you have the next training, you will invite everybody that you had expected. And so the number will be more. And I think that this is where what Bavosia has shared about writing a report where it shows the challenges, where it shows the successes. I think that is where you can then explain that we expected to have 50 turn up and only 20 turned up because this and this and this was happening, so that it helps to have a continuity when the next time there are more numbers or there are less numbers. So I believe that as an explanation, because there are events we cannot control. And so that it is expected that if these events cannot be controlled, there is an explanation for them, and that is what is important.
So to say now we don't need to add them to the baseline, we would only now count them at evaluation to say there was an increase.
Yes, the attendance, in the attendance, yes, when they come. Yes, true.
Oh, okay.
True.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Yeah, but if they are going to be with you throughout the program, if you want to give them a learner ID because you're going to do more things with them, I think it would be good that when they turn up, add them onto the baseline, because the Lyme survey will not close it out. You can add them into that baseline, yes. But for any report event where you have numbers you did not expect, either more or less, just an explanation is what would help.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is actually helping us a lot, colleagues, because when you inducted us, Karen, we heard you, but when you do the actual thing in reality, when you practice that which was you were inducted in, you see a lot of things begin to unfold.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of things are now becoming even clearer here. Yeah,
True,
thank you so much.
True.
Maybe we should have this more often.
Yeah. And that is why, colleagues, we try to have meetings once a month, so that this sharing of knowledge, this information, like I love the way we have talked about IDs. I love the way we have talked about asking participants, when can we have the next meeting? This sharing, this community knowledge that we are sharing, I think benefits everybody. And that is why it's important to attend the meetings, and also, let me now say it, to fill out the Lyme survey after the meetings, so that we can know what topics were of interest, what areas that we would like to have follow-up on. You're the ones who give us the topics to discuss. Okay, Bavosia, back to you. I think it is already 10 o'clock.
Yes, it is. So we've had our hour. Thank you all for attending. I don't think we have time for any more questions, concerns. So thank you all. So an email will come out with the recording along with the feedback and the poll. So we would have all of those before the end of this week, and to wrap things up before Christmas. So we would know how we're starting our new year. If you have any other concerns or suggestions, you think of an idea, feel free to send an email later on. But this is it. Thank you all for attending. I'm going to stop sharing and stop the recording.
Thank you.